Good evening, everybody. Dr. Ramik Hunt. Just want to let some people show up for a second. Happy Monday to you guys. And hope you had a great weekend. So today's topic is going to be about managing stress in these trying times. And also, before I forget, I want to make sure that you guys give me topics that you want me to discuss, because then I can prepare them ahead. And so I'll be looking, and I'll have my pen and paper, and I'll write them down so that we can have some good discussions. So my name is Dr. Ramik Hunt. I'm a board certified internal medicine physician and a obesity medicine specialist. And today's topic is, again, managing stress in these trying times. So this is a big topic that we talk about in my support group often, because, it's a lot going on. In the beginning there's so much going on. There's COVID-19, there's so much social unrest, there's police killings, there's politics, there's so many things that are all going on at once. And so it's, and it hit us out of nowhere, and people are not equipped. You didn't, to deal with it. So I wanted to talk a little bit about it and some of the things that we recommend, and with the therapy that, we have therapists in our group, and what we talk about to our patients. So I wanted to talk a little bit about that. Now, obviously things changed for everybody in March. And I think in the beginning, at least for me, I thought, okay, this is crazy. We're going to work through it. But I think, and when I talk to a lot of other people and my patients, that, somewhere around that time, March, April, maybe even May, you thought, well, okay, things will get better, and then I'll get back to my normal routine. And I think that's what a lot of us was waiting for. We were waiting for things to get back to normal so we can get back to our normal routine. And lo and behold, September almost, and we're not back to our normal routines. And I think that is a big part of what we need to do now, because our normal routine is, we don't know when that's going to come back. And so what I try to do is first let people know that, okay, we're here. None of us want to be here, but we're here. And now what are we going to do? What are you going to do now? Because you're not getting back to your normal routine. At least most of us. There might be some people in different parts of the country, but at least most of us are not getting back to our normal routine as we saw it before. And so now, that's stressful, right? You're used to doing certain things, and you thought all you had to do is hold your breath for a couple of weeks or a couple of months, and then you could just go back to, to living life and enjoying life the way you enjoy life. And it's not that. So that in and of itself is stressful. Obviously, watching things that we see on TV are stressful. And so it all impacts us, and it gnaws away at us and starts to come out in ways that we don't even realize half the time. And so what I wanted to spend a little bit of time on is helping give some strategies as to what to do to manage your stress. One, you need to recognize that you do have stress. You need to recognize that, hey, and it's okay, that this is stressful and this is, maybe you might be depressed or you might feel anxious, but we need to, one, recognize that there's some things going on. And then we need to come up with a strategy. And that's what I'm going to spend the rest of the time talking about, some of the things that I would recommend that we do. Since you can't get back to what your life was prior, I want everyone to think about and grab a piece of pen and paper and write down the things that you did before the pandemic. So you might say, Monday I met with, we did happy hour after work. Tuesday, I went to the gym. On Saturdays, I got with the family. Write down your life, the things that you did before your world changed. And the reason I want you to do that is because you need to remember the things that you did beforehand. And then because you might have even forgotten that you used to do, X. And so, and then what I need you to do is look at those things and realize how important a lot of those things are to you and figure out a way to try to reincorporate them into your life. You may not be able to do everything. You might not be able to go to a happy hour, but there are other things that you can do to be physically with, your friends and your family. So the first thing I want you to do is to write down what it is that you did pre-COVID-19 and then and make a commitment to yourself to try to reincorporate some of those things into your life if you haven't done so already. And then, other things that are very important, is prayer. Prayer is important, and, a lot of people got away from prayer. And so I want you to, for those, particularly, obviously those who are religious, we should be praying more so now than ever before. And we need to do other things to relax ourselves and kind of get rid of some of the stress. And so you should find a way to meditate. Meditation is really important. It really helps. And you can meditate in your own way. You don't have to necessarily sit on the floor and cross your legs. You can just sit still, quietly in a chair and just close your eyes and just let the thoughts flow and try to think of nothing and let the thoughts flow. So meditating, there are a lot of good books on meditation, but I think meditation is really important. And so I want you to write down the things you did before, stay prayed up, meditate, and then I want you to move. We all need to move more. We talk a lot about this in the book. We talk about NEAT, but this, NEAT is non-exercise activity thermogenesis. That has to do with your diet plan, and but more importantly than that, you need to move because we sit all day. We're at a computer, we're working remotely, whatever we're doing, and what people don't realize about sitting is that when you sit, you almost immediately begin to increase inflammation in your body. Sitting increases your insulin resistance, and it does a whole host of other things. Yes, we do need to sit for certain things, but we really need to be moving more. And so I tell people to stand. stand at, when you're doing your work, standing, like they have standing desks. I have a standing treadmill that I work on. And so stand more and then move more. So you really should be taking a walk every single day, particularly if you're working from home. You should be taking a walk every single day. If your gym is closed, you should work out at home. You can do push-ups, you could do sit-ups, you could do all sorts of calisthenics. There are a whole host of YouTube videos that you can do. And there are even the cable channels that have it. So and then there are personal trainers. We have personal trainers that do sessions, virtual sessions. And then you could do stuff in the park with your friends, just physically distancing, whatever it is. But you can't underestimate the importance of moving. And, I had a patient today who basically told me she got up and she just started moving for the first time today in a while, because she was sitting so much, it was like built up frustration, and she just needed to do something. I mean, she's like, she gets up, she doesn't get dressed, get in the car, and go to the office. She gets up, goes downstairs, and turns on the computer and sits. That will produce it. Just that in and of itself will produce stress. So you really do need to build in physical activity into your daily routine. So I tell my patients that you got to take your 15-minute break and take a walk, or if you're on a call, walk around your center aisle in your kitchen or your table. Like, we all need to move more, and the more we move, the better we will feel. And so you need to start incorporating all these things into your daily routine, not just once in a while, every single day. Now, because our commute is 10 seconds, a lot of us snooze or hit the snooze button until that first meeting at 8:30. When before you used to wake up at 6. Okay, maybe stay till 6:30, but get up, jump in the shower, brush your teeth, get dressed, and go to work. Because it is so important to do this, because it's easy to get caught up and just, nobody sees me, or I only got to get dressed from the waist up or whatever. And so it gets to a point where we get caught in this rut. And that's the reason why I asked you guys in the beginning to go back and write down the things you used to do before this pandemic hit. You literally got up at 6:30 in the morning, made your coffee, brushed your teeth, got in the shower, ironed your clothes or whatever, put your clothes on, walked to the car, warmed the car up, drove to work, or maybe you stopped at the Starbucks on your way to work. You saw people, you got stimulation, you went to work, and you did your thing. After work, you might have, like I said, you might have went to the gym, or you might have, all these things we're not doing no more. And so let's get back, and I need you to do a checklist. Like, I used to brush my teeth. I used to, whatever it is. And we got to start checking off these things and doing them again. And then we have to start moving. It's so important to move. We literally, I get so many patients who, come in with complaints of, I got this ache, I got this, my feet swole, my feet hurt when I take that first step. I don't know, my shoulder, all these little aches and pains. And I have to tell them, one, you never really none of us, right? Never really set our homes up to be ergonomically correct so we can sit for 8 to 10 hours and type it. Now, the patient today, they said that their wrist, wasn't working. And so, wasn't working right and painful. And it's because of what we're doing and how our setup is. And we're not standing. We need, like, you should really, most of your work throughout the day should be standing. That alone will make you feel so much better if you stand more. If you take a walk every single day, like I said, and then incorporate your exercise into whatever it is, whatever your day. So take your 15-minute break. When you take your lunch break, take an actual lunch break. Literally take a lunch break. And maybe, go, take a walk with your spouse or whatever it is if they're home, or, whatever. Maybe you need a break from your spouse. You might want to take a walk by yourself. But the point is, we got to start moving more. And then finally, sometimes when we do all of these things, when we check off what we used to do before and we try to reincorporate it back into our lives, because this is our new normal, so we have to figure out what that means. And sometimes if we pray and if we meditate and if we do some more physical activity, we're still having issue. It's still bothering us. Something, you still don't feel right because, it's a lot going on. Then that's when you should go seek help. Go to your doctor. Talk to them about what's going on. And, get some help, whether it's therapy, whether it's medications, whether it's both. It's really important that we take care of our mental health because, that affects everything. And I will tell you that so many of my patients, before they come in and we talk about their diabetes or their blood pressure or their weight, we're talking about their stress. We're talking about how stressful the times are that we are in. And thank goodness many of them ask me how I'm feeling because usually all I do is get the complaints and then, I got to figure it out. But a lot of my patients, ask me like, well, how are you doing, Dr. Hunt? And to be honest, it feels good to be, hey, today's okay, but this is stressful for me too. And me to get a chance to get something off of my chest. Cause sometimes just talking to somebody is very helpful. And so if the things that I mentioned aren't enough, then go to your doctor and talk to them because maybe medications might be helpful. Maybe therapy might be helpful. And there's many ways. Nowadays we can do therapy, virtually. And so there's so many options, and never feel afraid about going to therapy, about getting your mental health right. I had a patient who came in today, and usually men don't like to share these things, but I was so thankful that he said to me, look, I need some help. And we discussed it and he's on his way. And the other thing I want to make sure you do is make sure you drink enough water because, I was reminded because the patient told me that during this time, she just make a big pot of coffee, and she realized she was drinking 6-7 cups of coffee a day. When before again, right, your routine is off. So before she would just have a cup in the morning and have one extra cup at work, but now she's home all day, so she was just and wasn't drinking enough water, and you need water. You need water, and we also need to start, getting back to NGW. We need to start eating better because when you eat better, you feel better. We should be not eating so heavy and not eating so many carbs. I had to bring that up and refine carbohydrates and sugars. And we need to eat, make sure you get a nice salad in. Make sure you get some, if you eat fish, get some, put some salmon on top. Let's eat better too, because that's going to make us feel better as well. And drink plenty water. It is so important. I had some family over, and I try not to be the food police, But it was like all was there was like a Sprite, a Pepsi, and they were young kids, and that's sometimes you give them a break, but you don't want them to get into bad habits. So I went and got a big pitcher of water and like, look, for every one of those you drink another one of these, because it really is that important. So to recap, this is stressful times. Watching the news and the things that you see that are going on affecting the people, my people, it is really disheartening, and sometimes you feel powerless, but we're not powerless. We can go out there and vote, and we can do something about it. But I would say that, try not to stay fixated on the TV every 2 seconds, because you definitely watch. You got to stay abreast of what's going on, but try to watch something that makes you feel good as well. And we have to manage it, right? We have to manage it. And so I want you guys to, again, write down the things that you did before COVID and before all this unrest happened. Write down an action plan. What you gonna do? What's your part gonna be in this unrest? Like, what are you gonna do to try to help the situation? We all can do a little something, whether it's just even speaking out and having a voice. Pray, meditate. You need to let some of this. You gotta free your mind. It's a lot built up. So meditation, to me, in my opinion, is a very good thing to do, and it's very, very helpful. And then I need you to move. I need you to physically move more, and I need you to get out of your seat. They say sitting is the new smoking. If you're sitting in your seat, you're creating inflammation. You're building up. Get up, get out of your seat. Do stand while you work, and then start moving. Do physically. Take your walks every day. It's so important. And then finally, if that's not enough, go see your doctor. Go talk to your doctor, and come up with a plan, and seek therapy and medications if needed. This is a really important topic that we talk about often in my clinic, because things are still going on. All of us are affected. Nobody is immune, including myself. And so it is important that we do this. So I just want to thank you guys for listening. I'm gonna answer some questions later. I didn't get a chance to look at what some of the comments or questions were, but I'm gonna go back and go on Facebook and IG and look through them. So make sure you like I said at the end of every episode, make sure you follow me on social media, follow NGW, follow our YouTube page, tell your friends about what we do every Monday at 6. Next Monday we probably won't do it because it's the holiday, and my family might bum rush the show, so I don't know, I might not be here. So then we'll pick up the following Monday. But let everybody know, tell everybody about NGW. We talk a lot about mindset and mental health in the book as well. Just thank you guys and support one another. Make sure you're around your friends and family, because it's so important to have your network. My sister came over this weekend. My nieces came over this weekend. It really made my day. When you go, especially if you're going through stuff, it's always good to have your family around, especially if you haven't seen them in a while. So make sure you have your support system there, and the people that make you laugh and smile and the people that just make you feel good inside. That's really, really important. All right, guys. I'll see y'all later. Have a great night. NGW for life. Bye.